The massive Federation survey ship drifted silently through space, its crystalline hull gleaming under the distant starlight. Captain Stone stood on the bridge, his transparent body refracting light as he moved. Like all members of his species, he had evolved on a world of living crystal, making him look like a perfectly carved statue of ice and diamond. "Captain, we're picking up unusual energy readings from the third planet's moon," reported First Officer Reed, her metallic tentacles dancing over the control panel. "They're coming from deep beneath the surface." Stone turned his crystalline head toward the large viewing screen showing Earth's moon. This system was considered mostly worthless, just another protected heritage site marking where an extinct species once lived. The humans, as they were called, had vanished over 800,000 years ago during the great disaster that had temporarily rendered their world uninhabitable. "Show me the scan results," Stone ordered, his voice ringing like wind chimes. The screen filled with data. Thousands of power signatures pulsed steadily from within the moon's core. Whatever was down there, it had been running for an impossibly long time. "Launch the deep scanners," Stone commanded. "I want to know what's causing those readings." Hours passed as the ship's advanced sensors penetrated layer after layer of moon rock. Finally, the images started coming through. The entire bridge crew fell silent. Deep within the moon lay a vast facility, perfectly preserved. Its architecture was unlike anything in the Federation database. Rows upon rows of strange pods filled enormous chambers, each one containing what appeared to be a sleeping figure. "Life signs detected," Reed whispered in shock. They're human." Stone felt his crystalline form vibrate with surprise. This was impossible. Humans were extinct. Everyone knew that. Yet here they were, thousands of them, frozen in time. "Get me the Federation Council," Stone ordered. "They need to see this immediately." Within minutes, the ship's communication screen lit up with the faces of the council members, representatives from the 100 most powerful species in the galaxy. Their reactions ranged from disbelief to concern as Stone shared his findings. "This facility appears to be some kind of preservation chamber," Stone explained. "Our scans show approximately 50,000 humans in suspended animation. Their bodies show no signs of decay. Whatever technology they used, it worked perfectly for almost 1,000,000 years." The council erupted in debate. The discovery threatened to rewrite their understanding of Earth's history. The humans had been considered a primitive species that had died out before achieving space travel. Yet this facility suggested otherwise. "We should wake them," declared Council Member Bright, a being of pure energy. "This could be the greatest archaeological discovery in Federation history." "It could also be dangerous," warned Council Member Deep, a creature that looked like a living shadow. "We know nothing about these humans or why they chose to sleep for so long." After hours of debate, the Council reached a decision. One pod would be awakened, a test to see if revival was even possible after so much time. The ship's medical team worked carefully, following the surprisingly clear instructions they found in the facility's databanks. They selected a pod marked Primary Ambassador and began the revival process. Stone watched through the medical bay window as the pod slowly opened, releasing a cloud of vapor. Inside lay a human male, his chest beginning to rise and fall with renewed breath. His eyes fluttered open, revealing a sharp intelligence that had survived nearly 1,000,000 years of sleep. The human sat up slowly, looked around the room, and smiled. When he spoke, the ship's universal translator converted his words perfectly. "Right on schedule. I'm Dr. James Walker, and humanity has been waiting a very long time to meet you." Stone felt a shiver run through his crystalline body. He realized that this was not just a simple discovery of ancient survivors. This was the beginning of something much bigger, something that would change the Federation forever. Dr. Walker sat in the Federation ship's meeting room, his presence drawing curious stares from the alien crew. He looked remarkably healthy for someone who had just woken up after 870,000 years. His black hair showed no signs of age, and his dark eyes sparkled with awareness. Captain Stone sat across from him, the crystalline captain's body catching the room's light. "You said we arrived on schedule," Stone said. "How did you know anyone would find you?" Walker smiled. "We calculated that intelligent life would eventually discover our facility. The moon was the perfect hiding place, close enough to be found, but safe from Earth's changing environment." The ship's medical officer, Dr. Bloom, a tall beam made of flowing liquid contained within a transparent suit, stepped forward with a datapad. "Your medical scans are extraordinary," she said. "Your body shows signs of extensive modifications." "Yes," Walker nodded. "Before the Great Disaster, humanity had merged with our technology. Every human in those pods has a neural network woven through their brain and body. We're part organic, part machine." The room fell silent. Stone's crystalline form vibrated with concern. "And these modifications, what do they do?" Instead of answering, Walker turned to look at a computer panel on the far wall. The panel suddenly came to life, displaying complex Federation data streams. "We can connect with any computer system," he explained. "Our minds process information faster than most supercomputers. Our bodies are stronger, faster, and more durable than original human design." First Officer Reed's metallic tentacles curled nervously. "How are you accessing our systems? Those are protected by the strongest Federation security." "They were," Walker corrected gently. "I've already improved them. Don't worry. I only looked at public information. I needed to learn about the current state of the galaxy." Captain Stone stood up, his crystal form casting rainbow patterns on the walls. "Why did your people choose to sleep? Our records show the Great Disaster lasted only a few thousand years, not nearly a million." Walker's face grew serious. "We knew the disaster was coming, a cosmic event that would temporarily poison Earth's atmosphere. We could have survived it in space, but we chose a different path. We decided to wait and see how life would evolve in our absence." He walked to the window, looking out at the distant Earth, now home to a species of intelligent plant beings. "We didn't want to interfere with natural evolution. So we slept, our computers constantly monitoring Earth's development. When your ship approached, our systems began waking us up." "How many more will wake up?" Stone asked. "All of them," Walker replied. "The revival process has already started. Within a week, all 50,000 humans will be awake." The medical officer's liquid form rippled with excitement. "The Federation Council will want to study your technology. The ability to preserve life for so long." Walker raised his hand, politely interrupting. "We're happy to share some of our knowledge. But first, we need to know our place in this new galaxy. Is humanity welcome here?" Stone's crystalline form dimmed slightly, a sign of deep thought among his people. "The Federation has never faced a situation like this, an extinct species returning with technology that might be more advanced than our own. We don't want to disturb the current balance," Walker assured him. "We only want a chance to rebuild our civilization. We've slept long enough." Suddenly, alarms blared throughout the ship. First Officer Reed rushed to a console, her tentacles flying over the controls. "Captain, more pods are opening in the facility. Hundreds of them." Walker smiled again. "Right on schedule. My people are waking up." He turned to Captain Stone. "Would you like to meet humanity's best scientists, artists, and leaders? They're very eager to see what the galaxy has become." Stone looked at the human with a mixture of worry and curiosity. The Federation wasn't ready for this, but they had no choice. Humanity had returned, bringing with them secrets and powers from Earth's ancient past. The real question was, what would they do next? The Federation Council chamber was packed with representatives from 100 different species. Floating energy beings hovered next to crystalline life forms. Plant creatures stood beside mechanical entities. All of them watched in fascination as 5 humans demonstrated their abilities. Dr. Walker stood with 4 other humans. Mark, the chief engineer; Anna, the defense expert; Robert, the medical specialist; and Lisa, the chief scientist. Their neural implants glowed with soft blue light beneath their skin. "As you can see," Lisa said while floating a collection of Federation devices in midair using only her thoughts, "our neural networks allow us complete control over electronic systems." The council members murmured among themselves. Some showed signs of fear, others of amazement. "How is this possible?" asked Council Member Deep, his shadow-like form rippling with concern. "Our records show humans were nowhere near this level of advancement." Mark stepped forward, his neural implants pulsing. "Your records are incomplete. Before the Great Disaster, humanity had merged with artificial intelligence. We didn't just build computers, we became one with them." To demonstrate, Mark reached out toward a broken Federation scanner. The device floated to his hand, and before everyone's eyes, its parts began to reassemble themselves. Within seconds, it worked better than before. "Incredible," whispered Council Member Bright, her energy form glowing brighter with excitement. "The potential benefits to the Federation, or the potential threats," interrupted Council Member Steele, a being made of living metal. "These humans could access and control any of our systems. They could shut down entire planets." Anna raised her hand for attention. "We understand your concerns. That's why we've already designed new security protocols for Federation systems. They're ready to be installed whenever you approve them." The chamber erupted in shocked voices. Robert used his neural link to project a hologram in the center of the room, showing the new security systems design. "You created this in just 3 days?" Council Member Deep asked in disbelief. 2 hours, actually," Robert corrected politely. "We spent the rest of the time making sure it was compatible with all Federation technology." The council members looked at each other nervously. These humans weren't just advanced. They were operating on a level that made the Federation's best technology look primitive. Suddenly, a young aide rushed into the chamber, their plant-based body trembling with excitement. "The human revival process is complete. All 50,000 are awake." Dr. Walker nodded calmly. "And they're already up to speed on everything. Our shared neural network lets us instantly update each other on all new information." "You mean?" Council Member Steele's metallic form shuddered. "All 50,000 humans already know everything about the current Federation." "Yes," Lisa confirmed. "We've also begun improving the living conditions in the moonbase. We can convert it into a temporary home while we discuss our future in the Federation." The chamber fell silent again. The implications were enormous. In less than a week, humanity had gone from being extinct to becoming possibly the most advanced species in known space. "We want to help," Walker said softly, looking around the chamber. "Our people spent almost 1,000,000 years sleeping, dreaming of a future where we could share our knowledge with other intelligent life. We don't want to rule or dominate. We want to contribute." Council Member Bright floated forward. "And what do you want in return?" "A home," Walker replied simply. "A place where humanity can rebuild and grow. We've seen that Earth has new caretakers now. We respect that. We just need a new beginning." The council members began discussing among themselves, their various forms moving with agitation. The humans waited patiently, their neural implants glowing softly in the dim chamber. Everyone knew this was just the beginning. Humanity's return would change everything. The only question was whether the Federation was ready for such dramatic change. As the Council debated, more humans were already at work throughout Federation space, quietly improving and advancing everything they touched. The age of sleeping giants was over. Humanity was awake, and the galaxy would never be the same. The observation deck of the Federation's central station offered a perfect view of Earth. Dr. Walker stood there with Captain Stone, watching the blue planet spin slowly below them. The world's surface now bloomed with the massive purple structures of its plant-based inhabitants. "Beautiful, isn't it?" Walker said quietly. "Even after all this time, it still feels like home." Stone's crystal form darkened slightly. "That's what we need to discuss. The plant collective has lived on Earth for over 300,000 years. Under Federation law, they are its legal owners. Walker turned to face the crystalline captain. We know. We've studied the Federation's laws since waking up. We don't intend to reclaim Earth. Before Stone could respond, his communication crystal chimed. A holographic image appeared showing First Officer Reed, her metallic tentacles moving frantically. Captain, long-range sensors have detected something massive moving in the Kuiper Belt. Walker smiled. Right on time. The observation deck's view screen activated, showing the outer edges of the solar system. Enormous objects were emerging from behind distant ice bodies. As they moved closer, their true size became clear. Each one was larger than a small moon. What are those? Stone asked, his crystalline body vibrating with concern. Our backup plan, Walker explained. Colony ships. We built them before going into cryo sleep, then hid them in the Kuiper Belt. Each one contains everything needed to rebuild human civilization. The screen showed more details as the ships drew closer. Their sleek designs were unlike anything the Federation had ever seen. Each vessel was a self-contained world, with massive energy generators and manufacturing facilities visible on their surfaces. There are 7 ships, Walker continued. Each one can support 10,000 people comfortably. They have factories, farms, research facilities, everything we need. Stone's form sparkled with surprise. You never intended to reclaim Earth, did you? This was your plan all along. We hoped to find Earth changed. Walker nodded. It meant life had continued evolving. We wouldn't want to interfere with that. But we still need a home. The station's alarms suddenly blared. More Federation ships were arriving, drawn by the massive vessels approaching from the Kuiper Belt. The colony ships continued their steady approach, their enormous forms now clearly visible from the station. The Federation Council is calling an emergency session, Stone announced, checking his communications. They want you to explain this. Walker's neural implants glowed as he accessed the station's systems. I'm already speaking with them. The other humans are also presenting our proposal to various Federation representatives. Proposal? We request territory within Federation space to establish a new human civilization, Walker explained. We have everything we need in those ships. We just need permission to settle somewhere suitable. Stone's crystalline form shifted colors rapidly, a sign of deep thought among his people. The arrival of these ships will change things. Some council members already feared your technology. Now they see you have the means to build an entire civilization instantly. We understand their fear, Walker said. That's why we're being completely open about our capabilities and intentions. The ship's designs and specifications are already available in the Federation database. We've hidden nothing. Through the window, the colony ships were now visible to the naked eye, massive silhouettes against the starfield. Their hulls gleamed with a strange, shifting metal that seemed to absorb and redirect light. Some will see this as a threat, Stone warned, and others will see it as an opportunity, Walker countered. Think of what humanity and the Federation could accomplish together. We've spent almost 1,000,000 years sleeping, Captain. Now we're ready to dream again, this time, alongside new allies. The chamber fell quiet as both leaders watched the colony ships approach. The next few days would determine whether humanity's return would lead to a new golden age for the Federation, or a conflict unlike any the galaxy had seen before. The Earth question had been answered, but much bigger questions now loomed in the darkness between the stars. The attack came without warning. 6 warships appeared near the moon base, their weapons already charging. They weren't Federation vessels. Their design was unknown, their intentions hostile. Inside the moon base's control center, Anna, the human defense expert, stood calmly as red alerts flashed around her. Federation officers rushed about in panic, but she simply closed her eyes, her neural implants glowing brighter. Enemy ships identified, she announced. Pirates from the outer rim. They're after our technology. Captain Stone's crystalline form shimmered with worry. The nearest Federation fleet is 2 hours away. We need to evacuate. That won't be necessary. Anna smiled, her eyes still closed. Defense systems are already responding. The pirate ships launched their first attack, energy beams streaking toward the moon base. But before they could hit, invisible shields flickered into existence. The attacks bounced off harmlessly, dispersing into space. Impossible, Stone exclaimed. The base had no shield technology. It didn't, Dr. Walker said, entering the control center. We installed them yesterday, along with other improvements. Through the control center's windows, everyone watched as sections of the moon's surface began to move. Hidden panels slid open, revealing sleek defense turrets that humans had built centuries ago and left waiting. Attention pirate vessels. Anna broadcast on all frequencies. You have 10 seconds to retreat. The pirates responded by launching another barrage. This time, missiles streaked toward the base, their warheads glowing with destructive energy. Anna sighed and opened her eyes. Time's up. The defense turrets came to life. Beams of light shot out, intercepting every missile with perfect accuracy. Then, before the pirate ships could react, more beams struck their hulls. Instead of destroying them, the beams simply shut down all their systems. What did you do to them? Stone asked in amazement. Disabled their ships, Anna explained. No casualties. Their life support systems are still running, but everything else is offline. They're not going anywhere. Federation security teams began boarding the dead pirate ships. Inside the control center, more humans arrived, their neural implants all glowing as they worked together silently. You're all connected, aren't you? Stone realized. Fighting as one mind. Yes, Walker nodded. In combat, we can coordinate perfectly. Every human knows exactly what the others are doing. We share information, strategies, and reactions instantly. The Federation officers watched in awe as the humans continued working. Holographic displays showed the pirates being safely captured, their weapons collected, and their ships secured, all within minutes. This is just a small demonstration of our military capabilities, Walker explained to Stone. We hope it shows two things. First, that we can defend ourselves effectively. And second, that we choose to do so without unnecessary violence. Stone's crystalline form vibrated with understanding. You planned this, didn't you? You knew pirates would attack eventually. We suspected someone would, Walker admitted. Groups like this always appear when new technology is discovered. We were prepared. Anna stepped forward, her neural implants dimming as she relaxed. Captain, we'd like to offer the Federation some of our defensive technology. Not everything, but enough to help protect peaceful worlds from threats like these. The control center grew quiet. Everyone understood what this meant. The humans weren't just revealing their power, they were offering to share it, but on their own terms. The Federation Council will want to know why you're willing to share such valuable technology, Stone said. Walker looked out at the disabled pirate ships floating helplessly in space. Because we believe in cooperation over conflict. We slept for almost 1,000,000 years, Captain. We had a lot of time to think about the kind of civilization we want to be part of. As Federation ships finally arrived to help with the pirates, the humans returned to their work, their neural implants glowing softly in the dim light of the control center. They had shown just a fraction of their true capabilities, and the galaxy was beginning to understand. Humanity hadn't just survived. They had evolved into something extraordinary. The Federation Council chamber was different today. Instead of the usual rows of seats, the room had been arranged in a circle. Representatives from every major species sat facing each other, with the human delegation at one point of the circle. Dr. Walker sat with Lisa and Mark, their neural implants glowing softly. Holograms floated above the center of the chamber, showing detailed plans for human settlement and technology sharing. Council member Deep's shadow-like form rippled as he spoke first. After the recent pirate attack, we cannot deny humanity's military superiority. The question is, what do you truly want from the Federation? Walker stood, his eyes scanning the circle of alien faces. We want what every species wants: a home, a future, and peace. We've chosen Mars as our new world. It's uninhabited, close to our original home, but far enough to respect Earth's new inhabitants. The holograms change, showing detailed plans for Mars. The images displayed massive cities under protective domes, advanced terraforming equipment, and transportation systems linking everything together. You could build this without our permission, Council Member Bright observed, her energy form pulsing. Why ask? Lisa stepped forward, her voice calm. Because forcing our way would go against everything we believe in. We slept for 870,000 years precisely, because we respect the natural development of other species. Mark touched a control, and new holograms appeared. They showed medical technologies, clean energy systems, and defense platforms, all marked as sharing permitted. These are our offerings, Mark explained. Technologies we're willing to share with the Federation. They could help billions of lives across thousands of worlds. The chamber erupted in excited discussion. The technologies being offered were centuries ahead of current Federation capabilities. Council Member Steele's metallic form gleamed as he raised an objection. And what do you want in return? 3 things, Walker replied. First, official recognition of our right to settle Mars and its moons. Second, full autonomy in our territory. Third, a seat on this council. The room fell silent. Council membership was usually granted only to species with at least 1,000 years of proven stability. The humans had been awake for less than a month. That's an unprecedented request, Council Member Deep said carefully. These are unprecedented circumstances, Walker countered. We're not a new species finding its way among the stars. We're an ancient civilization that chose to step aside and let others grow. Now we want to rejoin the galaxy's community. The holograms changed again, showing the human colony ships still waiting in space. Their massive forms served as a quiet reminder of humanity's capabilities. Consider this, Lisa added. Every technology we're offering has been tested and perfected over centuries. We're not sharing experiments. We're sharing proven solutions to problems the Federation faces every day. Council Member Bright floated forward. What about military technology? Some defensive systems only, Anna replied. Enough to protect peaceful worlds from pirates and raiders. Nothing that could be used for conquest. Hours passed as the council debated. The humans waited patiently, their neural networks allowing them to have silent conversations among themselves. Finally, Council Member Deep spoke for the group. We propose a compromise. You may have Mars and its moons. You will have autonomy within your territory. Instead of immediate council membership, you will have observatory status for 50 years, allowed to participate in discussions but not vote. Walker smiled. And after 50 years, full membership, assuming peaceful cooperation continues. The humans didn't need to discuss it. Their neural network had already let them reach consensus. Walker stood again, facing the council. We accept your terms, with one addition. We want to start a joint scientific program immediately. Federation scientists working alongside humans, learning from each other. The council members looked at each other, then nodded in agreement. As they prepared to sign the formal treaties, everyone in the chamber understood. This wasn't just a negotiation about territory. It was the beginning of a new era for the entire galaxy. The sleeping giants were officially joining the galactic community, bringing with them knowledge and power that would change everything. 6 months had passed since the negotiations, and Mars was unrecognizable. Massive crystal domes stretched across the red planet's surface, protecting the growing cities beneath them. Inside these domes, trees lined clean streets, and buildings seemed to grow from the ground like silver flowers reaching toward the sky. Captain Stone stood with Dr. Walker on an observation platform high above New Armstrong, the first and largest human city on Mars. His crystalline form reflected the golden sunset streaming through the dome. In just 6 months, Stone said in amazement, "You've built more than most civilizations achieve in a century." Walker smiled. watching transport ships move smoothly between the buildings below. When 50,000 minds work as one, anything is possible. But look there, that's what I really want to show you. He pointed to a large complex near the city's center. Beings from dozens of Federation species walked alongside humans, their forms diverse and colorful. It was the new Joint Science Academy, where the galaxy's greatest minds came together to learn and share knowledge. The first graduating class will be ready next week, Walker explained. Federation scientists who now understand our technology well enough to teach others. Stone's form sparkled with interest. And the medical technologies you shared. The results are better than expected, Walker nodded. The hospitals on 15 Federation worlds are already using our healing pods. Disease rates have dropped by 60% on those planets. Their conversation was interrupted by a soft chime. A hologram appeared, showing Lisa working with a group of plant beings, representatives from Earth's new inhabitants. The terraforming project is ready, she announced. The plant collective has approved our help in stabilizing Earth's climate. We start tomorrow. Walker turned to Stone. Would you like to see something remarkable, Captain? They took a fast elevator to the surface level, where a transport waited to carry them to the edge of the dome. There, in a massive chamber, stood row after row of strange machines. What are they? Stone asked. Planetary engineering devices, Walker explained. But look who's operating them. Stone's crystalline form vibrated in surprise. Humans worked side by side with various Federation species, teaching them how to use the advanced technology. There was no fear, no suspicion, just cooperation. Your people have changed everything, Stone said quietly. Not just with your technology, but with your approach. You could have dominated, but instead, we chose to help. Walker finished. That's what we spent 870,000 years dreaming about. Not conquest, not power, but the chance to be part of something greater than ourselves. Above them, through the dome's clear surface, they could see Earth glowing blue in the distance. Already, the first signs of the climate stabilization project were visible. The angry storms that had plagued the planet for millennia were beginning to calm. The plant collective asked me something interesting yesterday, Walker said. They wanted to know if some humans would like to live on Earth again, in specially designed habitats. Not to take over, but to be neighbors. And your answer? We said yes, of course. A small group will go, to learn from them as much as to share our knowledge. As the sun set completely, the dome's lights came on, making the city below glow like a constellation of earthbound stars. Federation ships moved through the sky above, coming and going freely. In labs and classrooms throughout the city, beings from 100 worlds worked together, learning secrets that had slept for almost 1,000,000 years. The council meets next week, Stone said. There's talk of moving up your full membership. 50 years seems too long to wait, given all you've contributed. Walker's neural implants glowed softly in the growing darkness. Time means something different to us now, Captain. We slept through nearly 1,000,000 years. We can wait a few decades more, as long as we can keep doing what matters, helping build a better galaxy for everyone. As night fell completely over Mars, the lights of New Armstrong shone brighter than ever, a beacon of hope in the darkness of space. Humanity had returned not as conquerors or saviors, but as partners in the great dance of galactic civilization. The sleeping giants were awake at last, and their dreams of peace had finally become reality.